In this video, I'm doing a review of the Eagle Discbound notebook. If you follow my channel, this is one of many Discbound notebooks that I have reviewed so far. This one is quite similar to the Tulle, the Arc, and also the 11 disc. It has a poly cover, which is that bendy material. However, this one is a lot more sturdy than those other brands I just mentioned. It's not bending nearly as much as the other covers have, so that's off to a good start. It has the disc binding, which my favorite type of binding. I absolutely love it. It's so convenient to be able to just pull pages out and then put them back in again. These discs are quite small. They're only 0.7 inch in diameter. You can get larger discs and replace them with it. You can also interchange most of those Discbound brands I mentioned as well. The really only difference is just the stem length before the disc. I will have comparison of those, and I also have a couple of pages from those notebooks so we can see how they fit in this one. Really love this blue cover. It's very nice, like not a washed out blue or anything, and also a color that most of the other Discbound brands don't offer. It's quite thin though. It's probably only about a bit more than 0.25 but less than ½ an inch thick, and as you can see, the discs are pretty full with pages, so I don't think you can really add any more. You'd have to upgrade the disc if you want more pages. The inside of this one is lined, and it's quite similar layout to the Arc, where it's got the title box at the top and then also the date section. It has 60 pages. It says that it's heavyweight paper, but I've done a pen test and it wasn't super thick paper, and you can already see some show through here as well of the printing that's on the back side of the page coming through. So you'll see that when I show you the pen test in a sec. And then it's just telling you can add and remove the pages. This one is half US letter size. If I compare it with the, I have the 11 discs here, it's the same size. So you can see similar covers, similar thickness. One of them has slightly larger discs. I do have a very detailed comparison that I did between all the Discbound brands. The link to download that is down below if you need some help deciding. They all have various accessories like extra inside pages like dot grid, graph. You can get weekly, daily, monthly inserts, project planning. And because these are really interchangeable between the brands, like you can use this paper that's already punched for the Tulle or the Arc, for example, in one of these, you can interchange them. So even if one of them doesn't offer it, so if the Eagle doesn't offer one of the inserts that you want, have a look at the other Discbound brands and you should be able to use it with it as well. This one has the Eagle logo in the bottom corner of each of the pages, and there's no page numbers, unfortunately, but a lot of them for some reason don't have them, which I think would be really helpful because I actually use a Discbound dot grid notebook as my main bullet journal, and it's really hard to find ones that already have the page numbers on them. The other reason I really love disc binding is because it lays completely flat, as you can see there. I'll show you the pen test and then I'll do the compatibility comparison with the other brands' pages. So here's the pen test. The paper has got a bit of a yellowish tinge to it, which is not the greatest. I do really prefer bright white paper. Still felt smooth to write on, not as smooth as those other Discbound brands that I mentioned. We've got all the usual pens that I always do the pen testing with, and also stamps as well and highlighters. And we can see here there is a fair bit of show through, actually a lot more than all those other Discbound brands. You can even see like ballpoint and fine tip, whereas most of the others you would only see the marker pens on the paper. So I don't think the paper quality in the Eagle Discbound is as good as the other Discbound brands. So I'll just do a quick comparison here. I have pages from the Arc. This is the 11 discs, is the dot grid one, and then also the Tulle. Now the page size of the Arc is A5. I'm located in Australia, so I actually prefer the A5 because then I can just print something, do 2 per page printing, cut it in half, punch it, and then add it straight in. Whereas with this one here, I can still use it, but you can see that the pages, when I finish clipping it in, the pages don't perfectly align up. See how they're a lot wider because it's A5 and this is half US letter. So you can see you still use the two together. Like you can still use the pages in the notebook. Just keep in mind they won't, perfectly sit together. We've got a bit extra out here, but you could easily just reuse the cover. So if you really like this blue cover, for example, which is not offered by some of the other brands, you could use this cover instead and interchange them all and hack it and create your own custom notebook if you wanted to. Here is the 11 discs. So all of these are pretty close with the stem length and also the little mushroom bit, this bit here. Now, because I know someone's going to ask, what about compatibility with the Happy Planner? I don't really recommend it because the Happy Planner has much longer stems. So by stems, I mean this little bit here. So on the Happy Planner, the stem is way longer. It's like out to here, and then it's got the little mushroom head. So it means that the pages can like come out a lot more easier, and they just don't sit as nicely if you use the Happy Planner in any of these brands that I have here. So keep that in mind. I think these ones are better off doing your own printables that you then cut and then punch and put them in, rather than using the Happy Planner inserts. I feel like the Happy Planner is just for the Happy Planner, and all these other brands can be interchanged. So you can see that the 11 disc sits pretty much perfectly in this notebook, same page size, and also you can see the difference in the paper color, the bright white versus the yellowish tone of the Eagle Discbound. And here is the Tull paper, TUL, whatever you want to call it. It is actually very easy to get the pages in. I'm just doing this one-handed while filming. But you can see that you've just got loose pages, you punch them, and then you just clip them in, and they sit in there quite neatly. And again, this one sits pretty well over the Eagle Discbound, and also a big difference. Look at that bright white versus this yellow. So in terms of which one's my favorite, I really like the lined paper of the Tull. The dot grid on the 11 disc, keep in mind it's actually 1/4 inch, it's not 5mm. So most dot grid notebooks are actually 5mm spacing. This is larger, and I haven't seen another option. So you might need to get another brand's dot grid paper if you wanted to use it with any of these Discbound notebooks. And of course I love the ARC because it's A5, and I use A5 in Australia where I live. So the Eagle is actually probably my least favorite, and the paper quality with the color, and not only that, just the pen test as well was a lot more show through. I did do a pen test with all these same ones as well in all of the other brands, and they're in those individual planner brands as reviews. So I'll have those links down below if you want to have a look. Also, don't forget to have a look at my comparison of all the Discbound brands, and each of them have their own accessories. So go and check them out. Maybe you want to use some of the discs from the Tull because they've got aluminium discs, along with maybe the pages from the 11 discs, along with some inserts from one of the other brands. You can definitely custom make your own notebook with all of them. They're available on Amazon, and most of them have their own websites as well that you can purchase directly from. The ARC is only available at Staples that I've found anyway. As for the punches, I have the ARC punch. It is very sturdy and durable, really good if you want to print lots of pages. So if you're doing a dated planner for yourself, I would go with the ARC punch. You can print multiple pages with that one. It's a real heavy duty punch. The other ones, the Tull, and there's also the Levenger as well. Those discs are very similar. I have the portable Levenger punch, and it's fine for 1 or 2 pages. It's very cheap. It's only like $20 punch. So that one's another good option. I believe that the 11 disc does not have a punch, and same for the Eagle Discbound, but they might have, since I purchased the notebook since then, they might have their own punch. But you can use, I've used the Levenger punch with the Tull pages, and like it was fine. So you can definitely interchange all these Discbound brands. So as for which one's my favorite, and coming back to this one being an Eagle Discbound notebook review, I probably would not recommend this one. I really only like the cover, because when you compare it with the others, the paper quality of the other brands are a lot better. So I hope you found this video helpful, and definitely go have a look at all the other individual reviews that I've done for all these Discbound brands, and that should help with your decision making. And I'll also have that link down below for my comparison table as well. Don't forget to subscribe, because I usually do post a new Discbound or a dot grid or a planner review video each week.